Alright guys, Chris here, doing a box opening for Lucky Tackle Box for January of 2017. I've been a subscriber here for a couple of years now. Just starting to do some videos. I got a new action camera for Christmas, so decided to put it to use, test it out while I'm waiting to use it out on the water. So, let's get this box opening going here. We're going to start off with a Throwback Lures. Wagon Shad, retails at $9.99. It says it's a new item for 2017. So you guys can see the it says it's a small crankbait, but it'll dive very deep. It's down to about 10 feet, and you'll feel it vibrating from a mile away. Anyone that's used to fishing crankbaits can attest to that. You know that when reeling it in, you will definitely feel the vibration throughout the line and your rod tip. A little bit smaller than I generally fish with, but I do like the color, so I will definitely be giving it a shot. I like to fish crankbaits, you know, bounce them off the rocks if your shoreline's got rocks on it. Also through weeds. You know, if it gets hung up, give it a yank. A lot of times that's when you'll get a reaction strike on it. So, up next we have Biwa Tail Gunner. It's a 4.5 inch swim bait. Again, this is another one that's saying is new for 2017. It says it's scented. Tactical Turbulence B2A scented. Smell that. It does have scent to it. Definitely like how these feel. As you can see, it's got the paddle tail on it. It's a nice color. It looks like kind of like a clear purplish to it. Generally with these plastics, I like to fish them, you know, a lot of times just on a off hook, maybe a 3-aught, 4-aught hook. Fish those weightless. I also like to fish them on the drop shot. When I'm fishing with the drop shot, I literally just put the hook through the tip of the nose, and that way you're getting full action with it. So when it's sitting in the water, you're getting that tail wobbling all over that. That gets a lot of strikes on it. I also like to use these as trailers, so I'll put it on a spinnerbait or a chatterbait. And when you're matching up these trailers with your lures like that, make sure you're going with a similar color. You want it to have as natural a look as possible. So, you know, you don't want to use a natural looking color with a real dark color, or vice versa. You know, you don't want to have some purple with chartreuse. Oftentimes, if you want to experiment like that, but I try to stick to as close as possible with colors, give it as much natural look as you can. Alright, up next we're going to have Strike King Rage Craw. I can't attest for these. I have a lot of Strike King Rage Craw lures, plastics that I use. They do work. They're real good. These are the coffee scented ones. Some people swear by coffee scented. Up and down that it works. I have coffee scented. I have, you know, had them catch fish for me before. I don't know if it's based on the coffee scent, but these are definitely good plastics. These again, I like to fish, you know, a 3-aught hook and fish weightless. My favorite way to fish these plastics is on a jig. So I'll throw them on a skirted jig, drag it along the bottom, along some rocky shoreline, and you will get a lot of hits like that. That your jig's sitting with the plastic kind of suspended. It almost makes it look, you know, like a natural presentation of a crawdad at the bottom. I also like to use these, same thing as trailers. You know, I try experimenting with a lot of different plastics, using them as trailers. These are another good one. But again, try to match up color. So if I'm going to use something like this that's darker color, I'm going to be going with a chatterbait or a spinnerbait that has a dark color as well. These Strike King Rage Craws retail at $5.49 a pack. Next, I don't think I told you the price on the Biwa, the last product. Those retail at $5.99 a pack. So $5.99 for Biwa, and your Strike King Rage Craw is going to be retailing at $5.49. It's a good price. You get 7 of them in there. They are durable too, so they'll withstand multiple fish. You're not going to have one fish hit it, you know, and it's done for, you're throwing it away. Alright, next product we have is the Castaic spoon. Again, this is another product here, the third one so far in this box that it says it's new for 2017. It says target depths from 7 to 22 feet. This to me looks, looks similar to a shad color. If you can see that color. Spoons, this is a little bit smaller than I typically like to use. I normally don't fish spoons for bass too often. When I am fishing with spoons, it's for northern. And, obviously it's going to be a bigger spoon than this, but not a bad size one for bass. So, it's always a good go-to. Spoons have been around for quite some time. They were catching nice fish back then, and they're still doing the same today, so. And this spoon retails at $4.99. Good price for it. Last on our list here looks like is Mustad. It's a size 3/0 hook. It's big bite soft plastic hooks. And these actually were exactly what I was telling you about as far as hooks that I like to use on the plastics. And the hook size is obviously going to depend on the size of the plastic that you're using. Lucky Tackle Box, they typically, when they're including hooks in there, especially with the sizing, they're trying to coincide with the plastics that you're getting, so it's not a coincidence. I can actually show you what I was talking about. We'll take these paddle tail ones for instance. So now these ones have a slit on the one side. If you want to Texas rig it, you can actually use that slit to insert the tip of the hook back into. So I'll give you a little example here. You're going to want to stick the tip in the top of the plastic like that, have it come right back out, run it through to the top, and now simply turn that hook around. You're going to bring that back through the body of the plastic, and you want to bring that all the way through. So now you can see how that hooks all the way through. Take the tip of that and insert it back into the plastic where that little slit is. And I don't know how good you can see that, but the tip, that's probably because of the color of this, because it's clear. You can see the tip some, but that's actually inserted back into the plastic. You see me running my finger over it. Yep, came out a little. There we go. My finger running over it, not getting snagged. So now you have a Texas rig. That's weedless. That's not going to get snagged on anything. Obviously, after a few casts, you're going to want to continue checking on it though, making sure that tip's still inserted good. But when the fish hits, that tip is going to catch on. So they'll hit it, it's going to scrunch up. That tip is going to hook the fish. So this is a great way to fish some of your plastics, especially if you're in some weedy waters. So give that a try out. Alright, and then of course you have a Lucky Tackle Box sticker here. They incorporated it into American flag, so it's a nice sticker. Be looking to throw that on my kayak. And then as always, issue of Fish On magazine. It's one of my favorite parts about the box. I always like to go through these magazines. I know a lot of people kind of dismiss these, throw them to the side, skip right to the lures. Obviously the lures that you're getting in the box, they are the bread and butter of it, but don't hesitate to go through reading this stuff. It's good material. You get through, you might get some go through it, might get some new information, and even if it's something that you already know, maybe it's something you forgot, and it'll rebrush up on it. So you take that information you're either remembering from it or learning for the first time, take it in your next fishing outing. Maybe it'll help you catch another fish or two. Alright guys, so that concludes my box opening here. Again, Lucky Tackle box opening for 2017, January. I'm actually going to have another video coming out soon It's me building a homemade battery box for my fish finder for my kayak. Waiting on some parts still from Amazon, still putting it together. So keep an eye out for that. That should be coming up soon. If I don't see you then, I will see you guys next month for the box opening. Thanks.